Every suspect in this video believed they had a plan, but this trooper had a better one. This is the best of Trooper Katorious Bluford. A bad taillight and an expired tag. That is it. That is the whole reason this started. What it turned into is a different story entirely. Trooper Bluford tried to stop a white GMC Sierra for a defective tail lamp and an expired tag. About as minor as a traffic stop gets. Lights go on, and the driver does that thing where he pretends he might cooperate. He slow rolls through a green light and turns left onto Rodney Parham like he is just casually going about his day. He is not stopping. So the siren comes on, and that is when he drops the act and accelerates. At the I-630 on-ramp, the trooper performs a pit maneuver, and it works. The truck stops. But then he does it again. He punches it a second time, now driving north in the southbound lanes, going the wrong way, until the road runs out and he wraps the truck around a tree. While canvassing the area, the trooper finds a black Glock 23 lying on the sidewalk, right at the start of the tire marks where the truck slid through the grass. The driver gets pulled out, cuffed, and the passenger gets checked out and released to medics with no visible injuries. A taillight would have cost him almost nothing. The thing he was hiding cost him everything. A trooper on I-40 West spots a white Nissan Altima make an improper lane change. Routine stuff. Lights go on, then the siren too, just to make it crystal clear. And the driver passes safe spot after safe spot to pull over. He is not stopping. Instead, he cuts a quick right, drives through the gore, that triangle of pavement between the highway and the exit, and slips onto the North Service Road. Then he tries to play it slow and casual, creeping along like maybe the trooper will just forget about it. That plan dies fast. Driving through the gore, he hits a ditch hard enough to pop the airbags and kill the car right there. Now it gets messy. The car is still slow rolling when both of them bail out and start running north. The passenger gets out first. The driver has to climb out behind her because his own door will not open after the crash. Trooper Bluford took off after them.
Lay the down, I'ma tase you. Lay down. Do not move, I'ma tase you. Come out of there. Come out. Do not move. Crawl over here. Crawl over here. Get up. I said crawl. Lay down and get over here. Lay down. Lay down.
The passenger does not make it far, loses her footing, hits the ground, and gets cuffed on the spot. The driver, though, he actually gets away in the moment, for about 5 minutes. Because here's the problem. His passenger tells the troopers exactly who he is. And just to seal it, his debit cards are sitting right there in the car. The vehicle inventory basically handed police his identity. The passenger gets booked for fleeing on foot and a failure to appear warrant she was already carrying. The driver got a head start, but a head start does not matter when you leave a witness and a wallet behind. A dirt bike on the highway. No plate to trace, no cage for protection, and a whole lot of throttle between the rider and the trooper behind him. You already know this one is not going to end with a quick handshake on the shoulder. A trooper spots it running near I-440, just south of Jacksonville, and lights it up. Now we find out if the rider has any sense at all, he can pull over and deal with the stop, or gamble everything on speed. The rider entered the interstate against traffic and sped off along the shoulder, with Trooper Bluford close behind in pursuit. After nearly causing a collision, the rider veered off the roadway, crossed back onto the correct side of the interstate, and continued fleeing. After several minutes of pursuit, the rider escaped through a park where Trooper Bluford was unable to continue the chase. Despite the trooper's efforts, the rider got away and remains unidentified to this day. A trooper watches a gray Buick SUV cut across lanes onto the I-40 ramp and lights it up. The driver takes the exit and floors it straight into oncoming traffic. From there, it only gets worse. 80 in a 40 zone, red lights blown through, wrong way driving, then 125 on the interstate. Trooper Bluford followed. Now the troopers try to end it the way they're trained to. They go for a TVI, which is the same idea as a PIT maneuver. The trooper pulls alongside, puts the front of the patrol car near the back quarter of the SUV, and gives it a controlled nudge to break the rear tires loose and spin it out of the chase. But a PIT only works when the speeds cooperate and the driver isn't actively fighting the wheel.
Notified, PD.
25, 10-4.
He finally turns down a dead-end street, jumps out while the car is still rolling, and lets it slam into a tree. The trooper pins it against the tree, but the driver has already gone into the woods on foot. Then comes the inventory, and this is where it stops being a wild chase and becomes something much worse.
Show me your fucking hands!
There was a 5-month-old in the backseat the entire time, not properly secured. Every red light, every second at 125, every failed attempt to spin that car out, that baby was in the back. The child was taken to the hospital and placed with child services. About 2 hours later, police found him hiding nearby, covered in grass and worn out. He said nothing and was taken in. A blue motorcycle, no license plate, doing whatever it wants on the interstate, almost like the rider was planning to not be identified. Just after 2 p.m., a trooper clocks a blue motorcycle on I-30 westbound. No plate, speeding, and changing lanes like the rules are optional. The trooper gets behind him, lights and sirens, the whole package. And here's the moment that tells you everything. The rider turns around, looks dead at the trooper, fully registers what is happening, and then hits the throttle. That look back is basically a decision made on camera. Now he is gone, winding it up to 120 miles per hour, cutting between cars and riding the shoulder like it is his personal lane. From mile marker 141 down to 133, this is just a bike threading traffic at speeds where one twitch ends it all. He exits at 133, a second trooper takes over the pursuit, and the bike keeps weaving through the frontage road and onto University Avenue.
36 gonna be from here. We blew through Greens. We're west on the west surf road. Turning a right. Continuing westbound on the surf road. White middle, white shirt. He's signaling this, but he's signaling speed 70. We're at University in the Frankfurt Service Road. We might be stopping now. No, we're just taking off. We're north on University. Wide traffic. Turning left.
He ditches the bike and runs on foot into a grassy area. That sprint lasts about as long as you would expect. He gives up quick, but then refuses to lie down even after being told several times. A trooper puts him on the ground with a boot, and that is the end of it. Every spotlight has to end somewhere. This one ends the way Bluford's pursuits do. Quick, clean, and with everybody in cuffs. Troopers like this don't get made every day. Tip your hat to Katorious Bluford and we'll see you in the next one.